if you were looking at protecting your family's assets in a way that's going to make sure that you ensure legacy and growth, what would be the smartest way of doing that for someone who's looking at starting out?
100% of trust.
Why
Right.
trust?
So you can have a will, you can have all that stuff, estate planning. Most estate planning attorneys that are actually good will do a trust, right? Because a trust, 99% of the time, will avoid probate. And if you don't know what probate is, that's where somebody's contesting what's going on. And it could be a sister's cousin's uncle that you don't ever even met before, didn't even know they were part of the family. But one person is all it takes to contest a will. They can't do that in a trust. It's a whole different level of protection, right? When you go to probate, they take a massive chunk of what you've built for your entire family.
That's disgusting. So in the order of execution, a trust should be the first thing.
Build the trust. And listen, you don't have to have a significant pile of assets, right? You don't have to have a high net worth to have a trust. It is inexpensive for what it does. Build the trust and then go build the assets. Go build the wealth. Let's back up a second.
Yeah.
First of all, you have to have the mindset of being successful, wealthy. I'm going to have these things, even though you don't have them now. Even though people are telling you, oh, you'll never do that. You'll never be this. You'll never have that. Our family didn't come from money. Well, be the one that comes from money for your kids and your family, right? But you have to start by taking action. You set the trust up. Guess what? It levels you up. It changes the way that you're thinking about your future and your family now because you've spent a little bit of money to build a trust. So now you're engaged. You've taken action to go start building wealth. I don't care if it's vehicles, houses, money, land, cryptocurrency, whatever it is, you start to level up because you've started taking the steps to preserve and protect wealth, which means you have to go build wealth now.
Right. That's amazing. You can literally put any of your assets into the trust. The trust is like a one and done situation. You don't have to renew it every year. You don't have to. That's amazing.
So imagine this, right? Let's say that you go buy a fourplex, right? So that means there's 4 homes in one building. You live in one and you rent the other 3 out. So your rent pays for the mortgage for the whole place. It's just a mindset shift. Now, you build up some cash now because you don't have a rent payment. You don't have a mortgage. Your renters are paying for where you live. 18 months from now, you've got 25 or 30 grand saved up because you're not paying $2,000 a month in rent. So now we can go buy another one, right?
And that all stays within the trust.
It all stays within the trust. But here's the cool part. Because you never know what people are actually going to do, what their intentions are, or you never know what somebody's going to tell someone else to do. Let's say somebody gets hurt on your property. Or better yet, what if you just have an accident and somebody that doesn't have money is telling them, oh, you need to sue them, and your insurance coverage doesn't kick in? Well, guess what? If you own houses, you own businesses, you own different assets, and you have money, they're coming after all of that. You're not protected. But if your cars, your homes, your assets are all protected in the trust, they can't come after that. It's literally just understanding what's coming, what's going to happen, and being prepared for it. And here's the cool part. So no one ever gets hurt, nothing ever goes wrong. You're good either way. Because I promise you, you never know. And there's a weird thing about life. It always happens at the worst time. It doesn't happen when you're on top of the high horse. It happens when you're at the bottom in the worst time. You got to be protected. You got to go set up a trust. And it's not just a will. A will's not good enough. Go set your trust up, protect everything that you worked for. Or better yet, prepare to protect what you're going to get.
That is smart. I wish somebody would have told me that many years ago.
I wish somebody would have told me. I'm 46 years old, and I'm not kidding you. I didn't learn this stuff until about 5 years ago. 41 years I've been on this planet because we didn't have anything. We didn't come from money. I didn't know. I started building a significant set of assets and net worth. I started becoming that person I always dreamt about being. I realized really quickly from a good friend, Andre Pennington, that I wasn't protected, that we weren't in line with what we were trying to teach and talk about because we were missing a piece of the puzzle. It's very powerful to be prepared.
And with the trust, you can set up the trust to where you pass it on from generation to generation, right?
Yes.
Man, my mind just explodes because I had an idea of what if we use the trust to protect the LLCs, to protect the real estate, to protect whatever other businesses. And it just like listening to you, listening to Andre and Jason and seeing all the opportunities that we have to do all of that. My mind just like, man, I got to tell more people about this. And that's why we're here talking right now.
Yes.
Shane, for the trust, can we go to you to set up the trust? Where do we go to actually set up these trusts?
So we can do trust nationwide, right? Literally, Universal is set up to do trust nationwide. Universal Wealth, right, is the mothership of all of our companies. And you can go to Universal Wealth. You can understand and learn about trust. But better yet, you can come to the man himself. He can share the link with you. So there's no question you're going to the right place. And then what we'll do is we'll get some general information and then we'll set an appointment up and we'll explain everything and talk through it. And then we'll set you up and protect everything in the rest of your life, kids, anyone you want to leave something to. We can do it through the trust and make sure no one can take it. I mean, just think about this for a second. Sadly, people don't stay married anymore. So if I go build a significant portfolio for my family and my daughter gets married to a scumbag, guess what? That scumbag can't get nothing from that trust. But if I built a significant set of portfolios or net worth and I leave my daughter $1 million, $2 million, well, that person she marries becomes a 50% owner of everything that I left her. Houses, cars, business. Prenups don't always hold up. But if the trust owns everything and she receives income, right? She doesn't control it and handle it and own it physically. The trust does. I'm ensuring that what I left her can't be taken by no predators, creditors, debtors, courts, scammers. Nobody can touch it.
See, that's a whole nother level of love because in the Bible, it says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children and his children's children. And the way that you do that is here with the trust. Like with the trust, you can set up parameters, right? Of like, you only get access to this money if you hit X, Y, and Z or in this milestone, right? Yeah. And that, to me, that's amazing because even after you pass, you can still impact your kid's life, your grandkids' life from generations on and on. Sorry. And that right there, that's what fired me up because then you can make your name be more than what it is today. Yeah. Your name will be remembered on and on and on. And Shane, thank you so much. I really appreciate you clarifying all this, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. All right.